Hiya! Welcome! This is Records Roundup number 75. I think I've got more singles than albums to show you today, so this is hopefully going to be a quicker one. A lot of my Records Roundups have been well past the 30-minute mark, and me waffling on about it right now isn't going to help my case for this particular edition. A couple of things I will say before we get started though. Firstly, as you've seen from the title of this video, there's quite a festive theme to this edition of Records Roundup because I've got 3 Christmas related albums to show you, and we're only just in November. In fact, we're not even in November as in the date of me recording this. And also there's a mail opening to do at the end, but there's a bit of a strange tale to tell about it, but stay tuned for that one. Right then, let's get going with some Discogs pickups, and although I did say I think there's more singles than albums, I'm going to start with an album, but it's the sole one on CD. Or should I say, it's 2 on CD, because it's a 2 CD box set. And it's this, from Las Vegas. It's their self-titled debut album, plus a bonus Christmas mini-album, or possibly EP. It's been credited as both. And the EP, or the Christmas mini-album, is called, because I'm struggling to read it, A Snowflake Fell, and It Felt Like a Kiss. Right then, so why did I get this? Because I've already got the album, Las Vegas. I've got the 10th anniversary vinyl edition. I was looking for the Christmas mini-album. I know that I'd only come out on CD, but it felt like a hole in the Las Vegas collection. I don't know if and when it'll ever get a vinyl issue. So I started looking for that on Discogs. There were a couple of copies being sold cheap, but for the similar price, I could get this box set that had that and the album Las Vegas on compact disc as well. So for no extra money really, I figured I might as well get this, even though it means I've doubled up on the first Las Vegas album. We'll take a look at it. Just a small box that opens as so. There's the Las Vegas album, brilliant album. Obviously I've heard this numerous times. It is brilliant, but you know I'm a big Las Vegas fan. So here is the Snowflake Fell mini album, or EP, whatever you wish to call it. So very similar design. The tracks on it are Careful What You Wish For, Fuck You It's Over, very festive, Cruel Moon, Please Come Back Home, the title track, A Snowflake Fell and It Felt Like a Kiss, and a version of Silent Night. Quick look at the CD. I've not shown you the other one, but it's going to look very similar. And also in the set is what I think is a poster. So nice that although this being a pre-owned thing, everything has come with it. It's got the hype sticker on the box. Well, it's kind of a lyric poster really, rather than a poster that you'd really want to stick up anywhere. So nice that everything's included. The Snowflake Fell CD, it was this version that I get the feeling anyone selling it on Discogs on its own, it would have just come out of this box set originally anyway, so why not just have the complete set? That's my justification for getting this. Not that I need to justify it, because as I say, these were cheap enough. What's the price I paid for this? Probably about £5 or £6 for essentially 2 albums in a nice little box. I'll listen to the album again, of course. I'll listen to everything that I buy, but it's the Snowflake Fell EP that I got this for, and I'm looking forward to hearing that. So there we go, Las Vegas with their little Christmassy box set from many years ago. But we continue with Las Vegas, because I've got, how many is it? 3 more singles from them. I did get the original release of Daddy's Gone. This came out on Sane Man Records. I like the sleeve. I really love this design. It's got cutouts front and back, and it kind of looks like an old school company paper sleeve, but it's a proper or modern thicker sleeve with a barcode and stuff. It's number 0132 out of only 1,000, I think. And the B-side, A-side is of course Daddy's Gone, B-side is Flowers and Football Tops. And even though I've got those singles on 7-inch, I believe, certainly in the case of Daddy's Gone, and I'm presuming Flowers and Football Tops as well, these are different recordings to the ones that I'm more familiar with. So even though it's the same song, they'll sound markedly different. So this and the next one were, I think, around £20 each. I think I made best offers, so I did end up getting a few quid each off them from a UK seller on Discogs Marketplace. Here's the next one. It's My Own Cheating Heart That Makes Me Cry, and the B-side is Be My Baby. Now this one, once again, it kind of looks like an old school company paper sleeve, but it's a bit more thicker and robust. Nothing really to see in relation to the vinyl, but it's easy enough to get a 7-inch single out. A bit more than what I normally like to pay for singles, £20 each, but these are pretty rare. The handwritten number of mine is 0982 out of 1,000. I think the only remaining Las Vegas single that I need after the next one, the final one I'll show you, is Go Square Go, which was essentially their debut release. I don't even think it was on this Sane Man label, it was on a different Scottish tiny little label. And it goes for quite a bit. It doesn't go for an absolute fortune, so I might get lucky one day. Anyway, final Las Vegas single to show you, final Las Vegas record or item of any description, is 7-inch number 1 of the, I suppose it's technically a reissue, but from the album era of Flowers and Football Tops. And if you cast your mind back to the last records roundup, I showed you the second 7-inch for Flowers and Football Tops, along with a couple for Daddy's Gone and Geraldine as well. And the first 7-inch in the set of 2 was coloured vinyl, and the second was black, so I was missing the coloured vinyl part of this set. Got it now, so obviously this should be green vinyl. It is indeed. It's a live one. The other one was live as well. This one is live at Barrowlands. So side A, live version from Barrowlands of Flowers and Football Tops, and on side B, a live version of Stabbed, which is also on the album, if memory serves. As I say, almost up to date with all of Las Vegas now. Sticking with Discogs, I've got one here that cost £2. It was bought with, I think it was bought with the CD box set actually, and it's this here, a Factory Sample 2. So this goes in my New Order collection. As you'll see as the video progresses, there's a couple more, at least a couple more New Order and related bits, and I have been showing those in what has become a long-running and rather epic series. But after part 8 of that last month, I did say I don't think there's enough that I can get or that I want now where I can keep doing all these long videos, adding loads of New Order and related items to the collection. But I still managed to find a few. This one wasn't really on my radar, but Peter Hook produces a couple of tracks on it. Factory Sample 2, as you can see from the information on screen. It's a double EP from the revived Factory label, Factory 2, a very shrunk down version of Factory that Tony Wilson was running in the mid-90s. There's one of the 7 inches, and the other one is in a pocket on the other side. You can see what the track listing is on screen, and the tracks that Peter Hook produced, a couple by Italian Love Party. Not heard anything on here. I don't think any of the acts on here ever went on and did anything notable. If I'm wrong on that and you know of any members of any of these acts who went on to bigger and better things, then please let me know. But as far as I know, they all kind of went into obscurity. But glad to get that for £2, a Hooky production on disc 2, I think it'll be, or 2 Hooky productions. Why not? Various artists, a Factory Sample 2.
Me and fate were bonded like brothers. You can't escape from us, don't bother to leave. Took a little bit of what I've got. It's what it took to stop it happening to me. Never been so scared of a craze though. They thought it could phase me, that much I know. Everything's too hot for everyone. Oh, we bad. Oh, we bad. Oh, we bad. Oh, too hot in here, too dark in here. We shine like a traffic overhead. Too hot in here, too dark in here. We shine like a traffic overhead. Oh, overhead.
2 more 7-inch singles to go. First one is an actual in-store purchase that I made from our local record shop in Chesterfield, Tallbird Records, and I picked this up along with a 7-inch of True Faith by New Order. Not showing that in this video for the simple reason I've shown that in a New Order update video way back, but it wasn't that copy, it was one that I received from somewhere on Discogs, and it had a big centre hole, and I felt like I wanted to upgrade it. There's nothing wrong with it, it plays fine, but I just didn't really want to have like a jukebox style copy, so I've upgraded that. I've listened to it, it plays fine. Thank you, Tallbird. And also I got on the same day Rise by PIL, or PIL, Public Image Limited. I've probably mentioned this before, certain people know it anyway. Rise is my all-time favourite single. It is such a perfect indie pop, indie rock single for me. Rise came out in 1986, was unlucky not to make the top 10. It peaked at number 11 here in the UK, and I always felt, and I've had the extended 12-inch version as a digital file for many years. I've had the Bob Clearmountain remix of Rise, which is pretty good, but not a patch on the normal version, digitally for years. I always felt it's my favourite single ever. Single in big letters. I should really have a physical copy of it, and I would have got either the 7 or the 12-inch, but when I found the New Order True Faith upgrade at Tallbird, I also came across this, so I thought I'll get the 7-inch, and there we go. Side A is the single edit of Rise, and side B is the instrumental. Brilliant single, not going to speak much more on it. Finally got it, my all-time favourite, Rise by PIL. And finally, from Townsend Music, here's the latest Picture Disc 7-inch in the Suede 30 campaign. This is We Are the Pigs. It was the lead single from their second album, Dogman Star, which is due a reissue. In fact, I think it will have been reissued by now, by the time this video comes out. Really enjoyed collecting these picture discs. You've seen all of the others in previous records roundups, and I've pre-ordered the next one. There was 3 singles that came off Dogman Star. There'll be another 2, and then I don't know if they continue in the campaign for the coming up album or not, to be honest. But side A, We Are the Pigs, and side B, The Killing of a Flash Boy. Thank you, Townsend Music. This was, by the way, they're quite expensive, these now. I think they've put the price of these picture discs up in recent times. £17, I think, and that's not including postage. But I collect these, I'm a Suede fan, so had to have it. There we go, We Are the Pigs. Ooh.
Wake up with a gun in your mouth. I'll let the nuclear wind blow away my sins, and I'll stay at home in my house. I said, we are the pigs. We are the swine. We are the stars on the fire.
Right, on to some 12-inch size vinyl. There'll be some albums to come, but there is one more single to look at first. This one I made a best offer on eBay, and it fills another hole in my farm singles collection. This one is Hearts and Minds. Pretty cheap, this. Plenty of people selling it on Discogs and eBay, considering it's a single that never charted. It seems to be quite well produced, as in physically a lot of copies have been produced. It's got the track information on the bottom, but it's quite small writing and you can see it on screen anyway, so I'm not going to spend too long on it. Vinyl feels quite heavyweight actually, so pleased to get that one. Hearts and Minds, which was the debut single, the first ever Farm release, I believe. Lovely stuff.
Now consume. Don't tell me yet. You should have knew plastic gangsters, stupid hoods, head for the nights in the kid clubs. Rolling, rolling, head for the prize of the king clown. Save the money, root of all crime. And I know people just left the big tank
Another eBay purchase. This one is Grail territory for me. It fills a hole in a vinyl collection that I've been aiming to complete this year, but I didn't think I would complete it this year because the last couple of albums were so expensive. I looked out with one of them. I got that. I think that was from an American seller, but I'm referring there to A Day Without Rain, and the one remaining Enya studio album I needed on vinyl I've finally got, and it's her Christmas, or rather winter themed album. Told you this was quite a Christmassy video, with Glass Vegas this and One More Thing coming next. This is And Winter Came. I've got this on CD. I'm not going to lie to you, this wasn't cheap. I think this was either just under or just over £90, but the few copies that have been available on Discogs are in triple figures price-wise. I'd had a safe search for this on eBay for months, and finally a copy came up. I had to jump on it. Was it a best offer? So I may have got a little bit of money off it. I can't remember now, to be perfectly honest. It's just black vinyl. I'm not going to spend too long on it, but yeah, I've now got every Enya studio album on LP, as well as either CD or mini disc, because I like to double up on her. She's my favourite solo artist. Do love the kind of foil style Enya logo here that glistens in the light. I think that's a really pretty effect. And there she is, nice winter scene with what looks like a very icy horse there. It's not my favourite Enya album, ironically. It's probably my least favourite, but I'm a big fan, so I don't dislike anything that she's done. And there is some beautiful stuff on here, and it's essentially a Christmas album, a seasonal album for all intents and purposes. And the fact that I've got it in my collection finally, I was so happy when I was able to jump on this. That is And Winter Came on LP. Enya collection on vinyl is done and dusted.
Underneath stormy skies, neon signs in the night, red and blue city lights, cargo trains rolling by. Once again, someone cries. Trains and winter rains, no going under, no going home. Trains across the plains, and in the sky, a star alone.
I've got another Christmas album to show you though. This one is technically gonna go in my New Order part of my collection. It's another one that's released by my friend James Nice over at LTM Recordings, also Le Disque de Crépuscule and Factory Benelux. I think this might be a Crepuscule release, yes it is. And it is this double album here from Relevant Records, Ghosts of Christmas Past brackets remake. The story behind this, the best that I can tell it, is that Crepuscule, the original Crepuscule label in its original form, when it was a European label associated at least vaguely with Factory back in the 1980s, they put out a compilation album with avant-garde Christmas songs, and this is kind of like an updated version of it. I think there's some stuff that would have featured on the original 1981 or something like that compilation, but there's brand new stuff, or newish, or new at the time stuff anyway. It's 2 LP set. Got this from Relevant, as I looked at James's LTM recording site and he didn't have it on vinyl anymore, not even sure he had the CD. I noticed that there was a couple of sellers of this on Discogs, and Relevant was one of them. I prefer to use their site, as I think their website is a little bit cheaper, and this was pretty reasonable. I think about £22 for a double album that's brand new. This is limited to so many copies as well, I think. Yeah, only 300 of these in existence, and it's a few years old now, this. And the reason I got it mainly is because Rocking Carol by B Music, aka New Order, is on side 2. There's other Factory or Factory adjacent acts on here as well, but I'm not going to go into all that. Look it up on Discogs, I would recommend, to see who is on this really. But I will get this open, as we haven't really looked at much coloured vinyl yet, apart from that Las Vegas 7-inch earlier. So there's going to be some weird and wonderful stuff on here. I mean, Rocking Carol by New Order is pretty ropey really. Hopefully I'll be able to play you a bit of that in a moment. But that originally came out as part of a flexi disc that Factory issued as kind of like a celebration of the Hacienda nightclub's first Christmas. And the other side of it was Ode to Joy, which isn't a Christmas carol, is it? It's just a piece of classical music, but Rocking Carol is definitely a carol. Anyway, on white vinyl, I do love that Le Disque de Crépuscule centre label. While I'm recording this and Christmas still feels quite a way away, it isn't really, time flies, but by the time you're watching this, Christmas is like, you know, a month and a bit away really. So lots of festive stuff to listen to with Glass Vegas, Enya and the chaps at Crepuscule and Ghosts of Christmas Past remake. Right, one more album to show you before we do the mail opening. I'm looking at the time and I think this one is going to go fairly long again. This one is from Vinyl on the Net, my good friend John at VOTN. He actually said to me when I made my last order there, I charged you for postage when I shouldn't have done. Remind me the next time you place an order to give you a discount of £3.30. I mean, I think he don't charge me for postage now because I've become quite a regular customer. So I appreciate that, John, a lot. And he did give me a £3.30 discount on this. It's the only thing that I bought from him in that order. And it is a Joy Division live bootleg. Live at the Ajanta Cinema, Derby. That'll Be the End. So this was Joy Division's penultimate live performance. They only performed together as the original four of them once more after that date, and it was pretty much a month before the tragic suicide of Ian Curtis there. What I've decided to do with Joy Division and their live stuff is, if I see any bootlegs on vinyl and it's from concerts that I know I haven't got already elsewhere on vinyl or official CD, then I will pick them up at the right price. I'm not desperate to get them all because there's a lot out there. I've already got a fair few of their live stuff, most of it legitimately released, but there's the odd kind of semi-official or unofficial release among them as well, and this is an unofficial one. I think this is on black vinyl. It's come out in many different guises in the past, but it all amounts to the same thing. The final track on it is Girls Don't Count, which is a Section 25 song and features members of that group as well. So there we go, Joy Division, That'll Be the End. And now a mail opening. This is from Vanilla Records. Right then, I'm going to try and keep this brief, but there is a bit of a strange and funny story to tell behind this delivery. I'm recording this kind of late afternoon, getting into early evening. I had a delivery from Royal Mail this morning, and it was in vanilla packaging, but it wasn't vinyl, obviously. There's two records in here, by the way. It felt like clothes, and I'm like, well, why are Vanilla sending me clothing? So I opened it, and it was one of their branded sweatshirts and pairs of socks. This was the tracking that was supposed to be for these records. So automatically I assumed, well, they've nosed up, they've sent me the wrong things. So I got in touch with them, told them what I'd received. They said, okay, send it us back on Monday, we'll sort out your proper delivery, make sure we get those out to you. But then this afternoon, like what, just over half an hour ago really, Royal Mail's second delivery, and another one from Vanillo today. And although it's not the tracking that I expected when I initially ordered this, it is the albums, or I'm assuming it is. I've not opened it. It'd be funny if after all that I opened this and it's 2 completely incorrect albums, but I've assumed that the right items are in here. So I emailed Vanillo again right before I started filming, and I said, oh, me again, this is really confusing, but along with the sweater and the socks, there's been a second delivery, and I think the LPs have come as well. So whether they'll want me to send the sweater and socks back still, probably, because I never paid for them. You know, it'd be nice if they let me have them as just kind of compensation for all this confusion, but it'd be stuff I'd be giving to my daughters anyway. Nothing that I'd be able to wear. Anyway, let's get this open. So 2 albums in here. One of them is more an EP really, but I'm very excited about it. Please let them be the right ones, otherwise it's yet another missive fired off to Vanillo today. Yeah, this is correct. Okay, firstly, bit impulsive like the last Joy Division one from Vinyl on the Net, but it's another Joy Division bootleg, but I thought this was quite a nice one because it's essentially 2 concerts. One from Middlesbrough, 1977, when they were still credited or known by the name Warsaw, and then one from, if you flip it over, 2 years later, give or take, from Manchester, the Russell Club, where they held the Factory Nights, I believe. So side A is the Warsaw Middlesbrough gig, side B is the Joy Division Russell Club gig, and I did check and I didn't have either of those on vinyl or CD already. So yes, this one qualifies for my New Order / Joy Division collection because I don't already own it, and I don't want to double up on live stuff particularly. Happy to have got that. That was about £16, by the way. I thought that was reasonable enough. I don't want to pay too much for these as they're not technically officially licensed products.
In silence, don't walk away. In silence, see the danger, always danger. Endless talking, life rebellion. Don't walk away.
But the final one, now this had a real kind of quick announcement. It's a reissue of something that came out 20 years ago, and I've always wanted this on vinyl. I did have the CD back in the day. It's a brilliant EP or mini album. We've kind of come full circle here because I was kind of debating about that Las Vegas Christmas CD, whether that was an EP or a mini album, because it's been referred to as both. But here's another one that could be considered either. It's Collision Course by Jay-Z and Linkin Park. So this did get a vinyl issue way back when, but it's finally had a reprint because the original goes for silly money. And it was announced, and then the release date was like basically the following week. Normally you get quite a bit in advance when you're doing pre-orders, but this one, it said out basically next week. So yep, jumped on it. About £23 I think. Great stuff this. You know, it was released at the height of mashups and bootleg mixers becoming quite a thing and in the mainstream really. And I always enjoyed this EP. So to be able to own it on vinyl, and I don't own the CD anymore, it's one of many that I would have got rid of over the years. Delighted with that. Black vinyl, I'm not going to get it open. Jay-Z, Linkin Park, Collision Course.
Who you know fresher than whole? Riddle me that. The rest of y'all know where I'm lyrically at. Can't none of y'all mirror me back. Yeah, hear me rap, it's like hand G rapping his prime. I'm young H.O. raps Grateful Dead. Back to take over the globe and to break bread. I'm in Boeing Jets, Global Express. Out the country but the blueberries still connect. On the low but the yacht got a triple deck. But when you young, what the fuck you expect? Yep, yep. listen again. Who you gonna find open in head with no pen, just draw up inspiration? Soon you gonna see you can't replace him with cheap imitation. Can I get an encore? Do you want more? Cooking raw with the Brooklyn bars. So for one last time, I need y'all raw. Now,
What the hell are you waiting for?
after me, there should be no more. So for one last time, people make some noise.
Now what the hell are you waiting for?
That's it, Records Roundup 75 done. Few diversions along the way with tales to tell and rambling to be done, as there often is. Anyway, special thanks go to my wonderful subscribers and generous patrons. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna sort out all these records here that I've bought over the past few weeks, and I do hope that all of you will join me again next time for Records Roundup number 76 and my next music collecting video. Cheers everyone. See ya!